Welcome, everyone. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're stepping away from our usual kind of analysis, the deep dives into facts and figures. Instead, we're going to be telling some stories that are, well, quite unsettling. We've collected accounts, firsthand experiences that haven't really been shared widely before. These are genuinely creepy personal encounters with the unexplained. And they come straight from the people who actually lived through them.
Exactly. These are raw narratives, unfiltered. They give us this really unique window into things that are just hard to explain, pushing right up against what we think we know. It's the directness, the witness accounts that makes them so compelling.
Okay, let's start with one that really makes you think about places and their pasts. This comes from Jared in Guatemala. His family has some land way out there, remote, with this natural river pool they call rotary. Beautiful spot, apparently, but deep, maybe a bit dangerous. They go every year. So one day, Jared and his brother were just hanging out there, swimming, taking some photos, casual day. Nothing seemed weird or off at the time, just brothers having fun. But later, when they got home, they were looking through the pictures. And that casual day suddenly felt different. In one photo, clear as anything, there was what looked like a little boy's head, just sticking out of the water. Now here's the kicker, the really chilling part. Jared is absolutely certain, he insists, that he and his brother were the only ones there. Nobody else around. And rotary. That pool has a history. A sad one. Locals tell stories, lots of them, about people drowning there, especially kids. So Jared, you can understand why. He believes he actually photographed the spirit of a child who drowned in that pool. Imagine that, looking at your holiday snaps and seeing that. Sends a shiver right down your spine, doesn't it?
It really does. And what's powerful there is the combination. You have the visual evidence, the photo itself, right? But then you layer on that tragic history, the local knowledge of what happened there. It creates this incredibly eerie feeling. Our brains do sometimes see patterns, faces where there are none. Sure, that's pareidolia. But the specific context here, those consistent stories, it adds something else. Like a strong emotional event left an imprint.
An imprint, yeah. That idea of places holding on to something makes you think, what about objects? It's passed down. Which brings us to our next story. This one's from Washington County, Ohio. Sent in by a subscriber S about his sister B and her fiance T. They'd rented a little house just outside Marietta. Now Marietta is the oldest town in Ohio, and it has this reputation, strange things happen there. It's built on a lot of old Native American burial grounds, some you can still see. So not long before B and T's wedding, T's grandfather passed away. It was very sad. His wish was for his belongings to go to the family, and B&T got several pieces of furniture. They brought this furniture into their house and started redecorating, starting with the kitchen. But soon after the furniture arrived, odd things started happening. Like T's clothes would just be let out for him, cups falling out of cupboards that were definitely closed, objects literally being thrown across rooms. They tried to brush it off, keep working on the house. B took some pictures of the kitchen redo, sent them to T's mom to show how they were using the grandfather's furniture. And her future mother-in-law looks at one photo and sees something really disturbing near the window. She described it as an anguished face. She immediately asked B, what is this? Are you joking? But S, the brother, he stresses this point. B is just not like that. She's kind, good-hearted. She would never fake something like that, especially not after a death in the family. She was just shocked. But then comes the detail that just ties it all together in this really awful way. Family members who were there when T's grandfather died, they said in his last moments he started to panic, started screaming, kept saying, I wasn't ready.
Wow. Yeah, you put all that together, the furniture, the house's location, and its history, and then those incredibly disturbing last words. It points very strongly towards something deeply personal, highly emotional, like a haunting almost. As if something unsettled may be connected to those items or just charged by that final moment followed them. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Can intense emotion, especially right at the end, leave some kind of sick residue or anchor something?
A deeply unsettling presence, definitely. And tied to family history like that. Wow. Sometimes, though, the strangeness isn't personal. It's tied to a place itself, a place with a heavy past. Like this next account from Enzo. He sent us 2 photos from a trip to Italy a few years back. They look normal at first glance, but the story behind them. Enzo is staying near an old WWI battleground. Lots of abandoned bunkers everywhere. He and his dad decided to explore one. They went pretty far in, actually. Down these long halls, a lot of the side entrances were cemented shut. In one tunnel, it split into 2 paths, both going left. As they were walking toward the further one, something happened. Out of nowhere, this mist just appeared. Came out of the tunnel, moved towards the wall, and then just vanished. Gone. Enzo and his dad were, understandably, completely freaked out. Where did mist come from? Deep inside a concrete bunker. Right. They didn't stick around. They ran out as fast as they could. But Enzo, thinking fast, he managed to snap 2 pictures on his way out. One is clear. The second, just moments later, you can see the mist. But it didn't stop there. Later that night, they're back in their hotel room. Enzo's dad is suddenly woken up. Enzo's stuffed animal, his toy, had apparently just been thrown at him, randomly. He wakes up his wife, scared. They check the room, trying to figure it out, but they realize pretty quickly Enzo's bed was so close to theirs. There was no way Enzo could have thrown it in his sleep without hitting himself or making a lot of noise. Just didn't add up. So Enzo's dad, pretty shaken, goes into the bathroom to splash some water on his face, calm down. He decides to leave the bathroom light on, for comfort. He goes back towards the bed. And as he's walking back, he hears it. A distinct, loud click, and the bathroom light turns off by itself. Needless to say, Enzo's parents didn't get much sleep that night.
That's a fascinating progression, isn't it? It starts visually with the mist in that bunker, a place steeped in history and likely trauma. Then it escalates. Physical interaction, the toy being thrown, and then direct environmental manipulation, the light switch. It suggests something more than just, say, residual energy, it implies. Awareness. A distinct presence, maybe. Something that perhaps followed them from the bunker.
Yeah, from mist to a toy and a light switch. Quite the escalation. Our next story, though, it pushes past strange occurrences into something that just seems impossible. This was sent in by Johnny, who was a policeman in Scotland back in the early 2000s. It's about 4 a.m., middle of the night shift. He and his partner get a call over the radio from Control. It's a silent 999 call. Now, he says silent calls happen all the time. Often kids playing with the phone. You show up, parents are embarrassed, end of story. But this one felt different somehow. And the location was odd, a local inn. So they drive out there. It's the off-season. The inn is dark, completely quiet. They manage to contact the owner, who confirms, yeah, no guests, nobody staying there. Johnny and his partner do a full search. Every room, every cupboard, attic, cellar, the whole building. Nothing. Absolutely empty, quiet as a tomb. So Johnny gets back on the radio to Control, asks for any more details. The controller says, well, she could hear breathing on the line. Definitely breathing. But no words. Just this crackly connection. And then the caller hung up. Couldn't tell if it was male or female. Just breathing. Okay, so Johnny asks her, can you confirm the number the call came from? She reads it out. Johnny repeats the number to the inn owner. She'd shown them the only phone line they used, behind the bar. Standard phone. But the number Johnny repeated didn't match the bar phone. And Johnny says he watched the owner's face just drain of all color, deathly white. She makes him repeat the number again. And she just says very quietly, follow me. She takes him down to the cellar, into this big, cold storeroom. Over on the far side, there's an old wooden bureau. She opens the bottom drawer. She pulls out this ancient phone. You know the type. Old rotary dial, yellowed plastic. Looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. She points to this old, disconnected phone line on the wall. Says, back in the 80s, that phone used to be connected right there. Then she points to the center of the rotary dial under the little clear plastic cover where the number usually is. And written there, plain as day, was the exact phone number that the silent 999 call had come from just minutes before. To this day, Johnny says, they have absolutely no idea who called or how that was even possible.
That is just baffling. The sheer impossibility of it. I mean, a disconnected phone. An old rotary phone on a line from the 80s, clearly not in use for decades. Making a 999 call. It completely defies any logical explanation. It's not just a weird noise or a feeling. It's a direct interaction with technology that should not have been able to happen. It leaves you absolutely nowhere to go, rationally speaking. A truly profound mystery.
Profound is the right word. Okay, for our final account tonight, we're heading into territory that's legendary for this kind of thing. Skinwalker Ranch. This comes from Maddie, about her dad. Let's call him H. H drives a truck, hauls crude oil in southeastern Utah. His roads take him very close to the ranch itself. Now, when he started this job, the company actually made him and his family watch a documentary about Skinwalker Ranch. They wanted them to be aware of all the weird stuff reported out there. And H got specific instructions. Smell rotting flesh. Hear strange sounds. See anything unusual. Shut down the pump. Get in the truck. Lock the doors. Immediately. H sort of went along with it, but, he didn't really buy into the stories. Not really. Okay, first incident. A few months into the job, he's training a new driver, Mike. They're outside the truck by the pump. Suddenly, both of them stop talking at the same time. They smell it. This overwhelming stench of rotting meat. Instantly, H remembers the warning, tells Mike, shut it down. They jump in the truck, lock the doors, pitch black outside. As they're sitting there, hearts pounding probably, H thinks he hears someone whisper his name. He looks out the window and sees this huge wolf-like creature circling the truck. They're terrified. The smell's making them sick. It circles again. And again, H hears his name whispered. But this time, it sounds exactly like Maddie's mom, his wife. He instinctively looks toward the sound and finds himself looking right into the creature's eyes. It's standing on its hind legs now, staring at him. glowing eyes. It says his name again. H forces himself to look away, focus on the dashboard, anything else. Out of the corner of his eye, he sees it drop back down onto all fours. And just like that, the smell is gone. Vanished. They wait there in silence for like 10 minutes, then finish the job, quickly. As they're leaving, H looks over at a ridge nearby, sees the silhouette of a giant wolf watching them. Wow, okay, second incident, about a month later. Saying, well, H is there alone this time. He's on the phone with Maddie's mom. Hears this weird noise, like fingernails scraping down the side of his tanker trailer. Forgetting the rules, he grabs a metal pipe, goes around the truck to look. He finds these 3 long, thin scratch marks, starting high up on the chrome trailer, going all the way down, tall as him. No footprint, nothing. He tries to tell himself it's nothing, just paranoia. Goes back to the pump, notices how silent it's become. Then he hears this hiss, but not like an animal. It sounded like, he said, a record playing backwards, distorted. Coming from on top of the tanker, he looks up and sees. He described it as looking like a human, but broken in half sideways, covered in spikes, with white eyes, just staring down at him. He backs away, just watching it. After maybe a minute, it makes that same distorted sound and jumps off the far side of the trailer. H looks over at that same ridge where he saw the wolf before, and in less than 10 seconds, the creature is standing there. As he watches, completely stunned, it crouches down, changes shape, first into a bird, then a deer, then a wolf, then it stands up on its hind legs, still wolf-like, and just walks off the ridge. That was it for H. He told his company, "I'm not working that well anymore." Okay, third incident, maybe a year later. Different well, but still close to the ranch. H is training another new guy. They finish pumping, get in the truck. As they sit down, both their ears pop at the exact same time, hard. The trainee goes to put the truck in gear, but just freezes. Can't speak. They're both staring towards the ranch. They see this huge light rise up from the middle of the ranch property. Explodes maybe 200 feet in the air, like a silent firework. Then this. Green wave, like an energy wave, rushes out from the explosion towards their truck, stops right before it hits them. The green light fades. Everything looks normal again. Except the truck engine starts revving like crazy, on its own, almost overheating. The trainee jams it into gear, floors it, gets them out of there fast. He quit the next day. Didn't come back. And there's more context here. Not long after these incidents, H heard about a family who lived just about a mile from the ranch. They just vanished. Kids missed school. Relatives went to check. They found the family's livestock all dead, slaughtered, ripped open. Inside their trailer, TV was on, food still on the table, pot on the stove, still warm, a chair knocked over, but the family, gone, no trace. H mentioned that investigations don't really happen much out there for things like this because, apparently, it's not unusual for people near the ranch to just disappear. And H still works there, but only day shifts now. He says his coworkers still report weird things near those wells. Lots of drivers refuse to go there at night. He is absolutely convinced it was the same entity, the same skinwalker he encountered both times. He doesn't pretend to have an explanation, just knows what he saw and refuses point blank to go near that area after dark ever again.
Those Skinwalker Ranch stories they're on another level. The consistency of certain elements across different reports, the sheer intensity, the escalation, from shared sensory experiences like the smell to these terrifying physical creatures, the shape-shifting, the interaction with technology like the truck engine, it really highlights the extreme psychological and physical impact these encounters have. It's phenomena that seems to actively bend reality in ways we just don't understand that place. It holds a unique and deeply disturbing energy.
It certainly does. What a collection of stories we've gone through today.
Yeah.
Each one chilling in its own right. They really do make you question the edges of our reality, don't they?
Absolutely. It's that enduring mystery, isn't it? The unexplained. That unsettling feeling that there might be more going on just beyond what we normally perceive. It keeps you thinking.
Well, this has been our Telling Stories today, a journey into some truly bizarre and unknown experiences. If you found these accounts as captivating and, frankly, as chilling as we did, please do like this video, share it, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs. We'll bring you more tales from the edge. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. Stay curious and perhaps keep a light on tonight.